mother, ride or die for my, strictly for my, survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. I'm indeed cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right this on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? The warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. Two words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the Houston Texans. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
What's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. What's up, hey, I got that chicken to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No cost. I want that cost. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rafe in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from feeling all kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat, ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up. The big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that chicken to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No cost. I want that cost. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rafe in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch it turn to a singer. Get it fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a pogo. Don't do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. Finna got in the gently. Angry and friends with these. When I was down out of so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do my own. Not gonna lie on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. And up give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my range. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting walk. Got a big Benz like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with a no, it's top
I got
notch.
that chicken to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No cost. I want that cost. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis that's light. Rafe in the city that's light.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On second down, here's Miller. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Watson now to throw. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. First down carry now for Miller. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Calais Campbell on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on second is Watson. Going deep downfield. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And this will get him all the way inside of Jacksonville's 10. A huge play there for Houston. 43 yards. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. To throw is Watson. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Calais Campbell able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Here's Miller. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Now, 4th down, we know the difficulty factor goes way up, and we know it would be a disappointment for them to just kick a field goal here after driving all the way down the field. But I also know one other thing. It'd be a bigger disappointment to come away with no points.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Bortles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the 2nd half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't.
Bortles now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 37-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Bortles now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Now let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand. And a really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And some room to work. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.
Okay, let's face it. Most of the offensive linemen in today's NFL, they're going to weigh over 300 pounds, but that doesn't mean they don't have agility. And the way that they can get out in front of a runner and create a space, sometimes it looks like they're going in one direction, and the runner uses his eyes to take him in another direction because it's been blocked so well. Love those misdirection or counter plays, and this one worked really well for a nice piece of yardage.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius brings him down.
Come back, come back.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson going deep downfield for Ross. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. Open man right side is Ingram. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. He got 29 yards that time.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Fournette, a first down carry. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. On second down, here's Bortles. His throw incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun now for Bortles. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Darren Lee in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They got his man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he gets it up to the 46.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On first down, Watson going deep for Hopkins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Watson off play action. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year, and it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And the pitch goes to Miller. And everyone on their assignment defensively there as he'll be taken down behind the line. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Richmond.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the first down either. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 2, and it will be the final act of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Let's go.
Bortles to throw on 3rd and 1. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
this one now. In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They do go for it. It's Bortles. And Ingram holds it in. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Two first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Green 80. Green 80.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. And he rifles one incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. Bortles now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Again, it's Bortles. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lee. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Bortles on the give to Fournette, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? What a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Darren Lee there to get him down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Bortles going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
380.
Now Bortles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. They could get it done, but guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this one's going to kick out of bounds right at the 5-yard line. So very fortunate to get that one back.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
3rd and long. It's Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And taken right on the 30. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's a give to Fournette. Oh, now he pulls him over. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On second down, here's Yeldon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down and inches. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is third and inches.
Hey, spread right, spread right, spread right, spread right, smash.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And Lambeau, he missed it. He missed it left. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Richmond. Hey, blue lady. Blue lady.
They begin with a run by Miller. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Again, it's Fournette. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Green 80.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. And a sight that's becoming familiar in this season. They remain undefeated, another win under their belt.
And they did it the way that they really want to. Taking a knee at the end of the game, that means you have the ball, you're in control, you dictate the final part of this ball game, and they did exactly that.
And the clock rolls down to 0. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like open up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You loved
did.
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for Jacksonville, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will